What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another player prop video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section and enter your name into the $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel. One thing that's kind of weighing on me this morning, and I just feel like I need to talk about and need to mention, and if you want to soak it in, awesome. If you don't, then it's all good. I'm not pushing it on anybody. I'm not doing none of that type of stuff. But one thing I did want to talk about is, since being in this player prop journey and being on, you know, Twitter a little more with the team and our team talking to people on Twitter and all that other stuff, one thing that you quickly realize is that there is an issue among the younger generation of not enough people being spiritually um where they should be. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just seeing the way that people are. You know what I mean? Like, you could just tell that their spiritual connection is just not there. And one thing I want to say is that, me personally, y'all know my story. A lot of y'all know my story and know that I've come from homelessness. You feel what I'm saying? So I was at the bottom of the bottom. There was not much lower that you could possibly go from where I was. You feel what I'm saying? And the moment that I was in the lowest part of my life, I wasn't in a relation. I didn't have a relationship with God at that time. I knew of Him. I grew up in a church, but I hadn't been to church in so many years. I hadn't talked about it in so many years. And I was just kind of doing my own thing, hanging out with my friends, and just, he wasn't, my spiritual side wasn't a big part of the conversation, wasn't something that I really worked on regularly. But the timing, and when he did show up and he did show me, you know what I mean, that he was still there, was an amazing situation for me. And ever since, I've been working on that journey, especially since my son got here a couple years ago and I felt a whole nother level of love. I've been working on my spiritual journey even more. You feel what I'm saying? So one thing I do want to say is that if you aren't right now working on a connection with God, or working on your spiritual journey and trying to, better yourself in that way, I definitely recommend that. One thing that could grow you as a human being and help you through this life of a ton of downs and a ton of negative and stuff that you could see, and a lot of, in a world full of negative stuff, it can definitely keep you out of that and keep you in a great mindset and keep you on a right track in life in general. If you're working on your spiritual connection, you're working on your relationship with God and all that good stuff. All right. Personally, yes, I am Christian. If you're not a Christian, then so be it. I'm not pushing you to be that. You do what you want to do. Okay. You do what you want to do. And I feel like in time, if you give it a shot, you will see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because it's not talked about enough in this industry. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of us, there's a lot of us that go to the gym, work out, build our muscles. Okay? There's a lot of people who just constantly are grinding on this stuff and grinding blah 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 blah. But there's not enough people working on that spiritual side. And I just want, even if I can influence a few people, to be like, you know what? I do need to start trying to do that. I do need to let God into my life a little bit more and start, maybe praying a little bit more, maybe just talking to him. Like, you don't have to. A lot of people think, oh, they have to pray a certain way, or it's got to be all serious and blah blah blah. You can talk to him like he's a homie. You feel what I'm saying? It's that simple. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. I just felt like I wanted to talk about that because that's just not talked about enough in this industry. But again, I'm not pushing it on anybody. Do what you got to do. Let's get straight into the picks, baby. Let's get it. All right. It is Wednesday. We looking to get straight into these picks for this week. Starting off with NFL, CJ Stroud over 283 passing plus rushing yards is the move here. A 5.07 sportsbook differential. When you look at our sportsbook line, the consensus sportsbook line's at 288.5. And the player projection that we have for his passing plus rushing is 293.5, a 10 projection differential over where that line is on Prizepicks. So not only do you have a 5 sportsbook differential with the sportsbooks, but you have a 10 projection differential. So CJ Stroud's in a fantastic spot here. I love his over 283.5 passing plus rushing yards is looking really good. Jared Goff under 266.5 passing yards at a minus 4.22. Other sportsbooks are at a 262 on him. Player projections at 265, a minus 1.1. So both data points are on the under. Fantastic spot there. Russell Wilson over 216.5 passing plus rushing yards at a 3.83. Other sportsbooks have this at a 220.3. average. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Sportsbook line is at 220.3. Player projections at a 218.7, a 2.2 projection differential. So again, sportsbooks and projection on the same side of the line. Every play you automatically see on this tool will not only have the sportsbook differential to make it EV on one side or the other, but projection differential will be on that same side as well. We want you playing the absolute best that check as many data points as you possibly can. Michael Pittman Jr. over 61.5 reception yards at a 3.69 on the over sportsbook differential. Sportsbook line of 65, player projection of 65, 3.5 projection differential. Sportsbooks, all the sportsbooks and our player projection are identical on Michael Pittman Jr. and love this spot for his over 61.5. CJ Stroud over 274.5 passing yards at 3.44. Other sportsbooks are at a 277. Player projection at a 282, a 7.5 projection differential. Puka over 70.5 receiving yards at a 3.28. Other sportsbooks at a 73.7. Player projection at an 80. Dak Prescott under 264.5 passing plus rushing yards at a -3. Trevor Lawrence over 267.5 at a 3. So multiple solid options in NFL right now. Let's see. Let's check some other ones. Underdog. Over on Underdog, you have Jared Goff's over 260.5 at a 6.8. Joe Burrow under 260.5 at a -5.12 as a few options that are really good there. Checking over at Better Picks, James Cook under 89.5 rushing plus receiving yards at a -5.06. Jared Goff under 267.5 at a -4.55. Now, one thing I want to do is let's just look at Thursday's game because we're one day away. All right, just once again coming on, looking at Thursday's game alone. I typed in KC, so that's going to zone in only Kansas City, Baltimore players. At the top of the list, the best sportsbook differential we have is Lamar Jackson over 47.5 rushing yards at a 1.95 sportsbook differential. Other sportsbooks are 49.4 for him, and we have him projected at 50.4 or 2.9. So great spot on the over Lamar Jackson's rushing yards of 47.5. Lamar Jackson's got a couple of the top spots here when it comes to the best value. Lamar Jackson's over 218.5. Lamar Jackson under 274.5 passing plus rushing at a -1.64. Patrick Mahomes over 265.5 passing yards at a 1.31. Some great options there. All right, now if we look at the Goblins for the Kansas City game, the absolute best Goblin is Mark Andrews over 29.5 receiving yards at an 18 sportsbook differential. Travis Kelce over 34.5 at a 17. Isaiah Pacheco over 45.5 rushing yards at a 15. But these two right here are the absolute best Goblins. Mark Andrews over 29.5 and Travis Kelce over 34.5 as some great options to pair into your stuff. All right, moving on. Looking at college football. For college football, we have Dylan Raiola under 245.5 at a -7.14. Other sportsbooks have this odds at 238. A -7.14 sportsbook differential. Grayson McCall under 242.5 at a -4.96. Other sportsbooks have this line at a 237. Nico under 258.5 at a -4.88. Travis Hunter under 85.5 at a -4.88. Other sportsbooks have his line at 80. Shador under 310.5 at a -4.38. Other sportsbooks have this at a 306. A lot of under spots that are popping. You do have LeJonte Wester's over 56.5 at a 3.85 sportsbook differential there, but there is some college football for this week. For MLB, we got a couple good ones here. I've already gotten this Francis play into my stuff, but Cole Solster over 1.5 Ks at 53.81% chance to hit is a fantastic spot there. -142 PME consensus on the over. It gets as high as -157 odds on this play, so I like the over there for Cole. Bowden Francis over 16.5 at 53.23%. Consensus are at -139, and it gets as high as -157. Projection of 16.52. Remember, all plays that you see at the top of the tool, or you even see showing on the tool, are going to be EV and projection on the same side. So it's automatically taking all of the data points you could possibly want. That's why it has so much success, because it's taking every little factor you can possibly imagine. Not only all the research that the sportsbooks already put into these lines, setting them, right, to give us where the EV is, but also taking advantage of player projection data from some of the biggest, most popular companies in this industry as well that give the most accurate data possible, award-winning companies when it comes to player projection data. So, yeah, take advantage. Cole over 1.5 and Bowden over 16.5 outs. Check a few other sites. Bowden Francis, same over here, over his 16.5 outs on underdog. Spencer over 2.5 earned runs at a 53.16 on underdog. Over on Better Picks, a couple Spencer plays. Well, it's doubled up still. We need to fix that issue. For some reason, it's doubled up on Better, but yeah, those plays are great. DraftKings Pick 6, Taylor McGill over 4.5 hits allowed at 54%. Over on Cole's Ks of 1.5 Ks. Fantastic options there. Boom Fantasy, Jeremy Pena under 1.5 total bases at 53%. But some really good plays there. MLB first inning, we have the over on the Angels and Dodgers first inning runs. Over at 53.16%. The consensus odds on the over here for this first inning total runs is at minus 139, which is a green chance to hit at 53.16. You don't see that a ton for first inning, so great spot to grab that. Nothing for MLB Fantasy at the moment, but there will be as time goes on. For WNBA, we have a lot that are close to that 53%, a lot of minus 135 consensus odd range plays, but nothing popping too crazy right now on Prizepicks. Let's see. Nothing on underdog. Boom Fantasy has Dearica Hamby under 9.5 rebounds at a 54%, minus 145 PME consensus. Vivid Picks, nothing. Dabble, nothing too crazy there. Sleeper's got some huge value options, but the payout's not going to be as high. Anyway, let's move on. Nothing there for PGA. Looking at MMA, Andre, under 47.5 significant strikes at a minus 1.8. Jacqueline, under 59.5 significant strikes at a minus 1.8. Sean Brady, under 23.5 fight time minutes at a minus 1.62. As some of the absolute best options there for MMA. Looking at tennis, we got a bunch of 0.5 sportsbook differentials. You can play any of the ones on the screen. As you guys know, when it comes to sportsbook difference, I like to play like 2s or higher. 1.5 being the absolute lowest, so I don't really play much of the 0.5 options, but nonetheless, all of these are EV in the way that PME is telling you. So over on all of these plays, and they're all EV on the over. Nothing for Call of Duty, League of Legends. Over on CS2, we do got some good value. I really like Lean, over 28 first 2 map kills of 3.5 sportsbook differential on the over there. Vilby, under 27.5 at a minus 2, are a couple of the absolute best options for CS2. And then last but not least for Valorant, the highest differentials we have at are 0.75, but the under on Mulsi of 29 kills, minus 0.75, and Volwin, under 23.5 at a minus 0.75. All right? Thank y'all for joining me as always, man. And tomorrow is a big, big day, man. Excited for NFL to be back. Thursday night showdown over on greenlightdfs.com. If you guys want to start getting involved in DFS lineups as well and play those tournaments over on DraftKings and FanDuel where you build a lineup and you try to compete for that first top spot and you can win. I mean, at Greenlight DFS, we've won members $70K in a single weekend before. So definitely try it out if you're interested in trying that out. You can find that over at greenlightdfs.com to get involved over there. That is my personal company, Greenlight DFS, where I do the optimal lineups and stuff over there. That's all I do all day is study matchups, study roster construction, all that good stuff to put the absolute most optimal lineups together for these things. So NFL is coming up. We do have a season-long NFL discount, so if you are interested in DFS, you can get involved with that over on greenlightdfs.com. Anyway, thank y'all for joining me as always. Think about what I talked about in the beginning of the video, man. Build that spiritual connection. Build your just spirituality in general. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.